Hi everyone, Michael from Spirit Comics here. I now want to review Shea Fontana's 5-part story arc, Heart of the Amazon. This here is part 1. Goes from issue 26 to issue 30, and sadly she will not be with Wonder Woman when issue 31 begins. A new writer is coming in, and I really like her work, so that's why I'm kind of disappointed. Now check this out. This is issue 26. Look, something's going on there. She is taking the brunt of something. Look at that. It's an explosion, I'd say. That's an explosion. And remember, I said previously in I think the previous video or one before, that I'll be doing reviews this way because I've misplaced my tablet when I lost it when I had some seizures on September 2nd, and I don't know where it is, so I'm going to be hunting for it. But in the meantime, I want to do some reviews. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but the story begins in Atisha, Greece. Wonder Woman is narrating, and she's saying some very deep stuff here. She says, the world of humanity is filled with people in need. And this right here is a refugee hut. And over here, it says, please, I will do anything, give you anything, just do not hurt him. And down here it says, translated from Arabic. And in the down here, it shows us what's going on. Wonder Woman says here, something I have, the remedy within my power. And the dude says, and the dude says here, let's see what you got under. And I don't think he's referring to this, but I do like the artwork, and I love this panel here. Her little boy says, "Don't touch my mother." That's the same thing I would do if I was his age and my mother was being attacked like that. Then Wonder Woman, she's narrating right here, and she says in the blue, I can use my skills, offer my strength, share my gifts in defense of the disadvantaged. And she's referring to the woman being attacked here. And the dude says, you little snot-nosed, and he's getting ready to hit the kid. You can see it right there. He's getting ready to hit the kid. But who should come in? Wonder Woman, Heart of the Amazon, Part 1. And she says, and then she says, how dare you bring battle into a place of asylum? Crack! And she lands a good punch right across his jaw. And in the next page, he's thrown out. He's thrown out of the tent. I mean, from her one punch, because this dude does not know what he's doing. She narrates and says, these gifts I sleep in helicopters and wake in war. No, she says, these days I sleep in helicopters and wake in war zones. She's talking like a soldier. And that's what she is, a soldier. Then she says right here, come, you will be safe now. And he's there huddled on the ground like and she says, because I want to bring peace. And outside is Steve Trevor. He says, please stay back, it's dangerous in there. And this person says, Jada, grandmother. And I don't know what Jada means, so if anybody watching this knows, feel free to inbox me on here on YouTube or on Facebook. And she continues her narration. At the behest of his government and the desire of his heart, Stephen shares my mission. And then she runs after. She runs toward not toward the other one, but she runs because she senses something. She says, Jada, Jada. And she continues her narration. We help many, but I can't save them all. Then, boom! Somebody lets off a bomb. I mean, that's a great start to this story. Then, oh, Shay Fontana, she is so good. She does a flashback. Themyscira. Years ago. This is Queen Hippolyta putting the very young Diana to bed. She says, good night, Diana. But I'm not sleepy yet. And Queen Hippolyta says, Gappy, that's her doll. Gappy needs her sleep for the tournament tomorrow. And young Diana says, and Gappy wants to stay for the rest of the feast. Trying to negotiate with her mother. And down here in this panel, and Queen Hippolyta is carrying Diana. And she says, Nanny, Nanny, my brave little warrior. And then there's 4 Amazons say, farewell, Diana. Sleep well, princess. May the patrons bless your dreams. That's a wonderful panel. I'm still getting used to this, and I hope you guys are too. Those that are watching, because it's a little bit strange for me, but I'm doing my best to so you guys can see these beautiful pictures and and hear the dialogue if you missed this issue. And over here, they're in Diana's tent, I think, because Queen Hippolyta continues singing, Nanny, Nanny, my brave little warrior. And she kisses Diana on her forehead, trying to put her to sleep. And Diana says, Mother, you didn't give Gappy a kiss goodnight. And so Queen Hippolyta says, Gappy would rather have a kiss from you. And that is just such wonderful dialogue between mother and daughter. And finally, Diana goes to sleep, and Queen Hippolyta goes whoosh, blowing out the candle. But as we all know, because we've all been children at some point or another, when we're that age, we don't always stay asleep. And young little Diana wakes up. She says, stay here, Gappy. I'm thirsty. Of course, there's nobody around, so she wanders out to get something to drink. And this dialogue here in the flashback, I think is great. Queen Hippolyta is walking upon a room, and she hears discussion of the Amazons that were featured earlier. Only this time there's, I think, 3, and then before there was before there was 4 around the table. Now there's 3, and one of them says, "Diana should not be so attached to that doll." And they're giving their unsolicited opinion about young Diana. They're sharing it with each other, except her. This one is not so quick to voice her opinion. The redhead, and if you know anything about the color red, it can stand for passion, anger, and several other stuff. That's why redheads are the way they are. I think. The redhead says if she must have playthings, Queen Hippolyta should give her swords, mallets, and shields. And then the blonde here says, "Our sister speaks true. The child's destiny is to be a warrior." These 3 are giving their opinion. And then the other one, this one chimes in down here in this panel and says, "It is easy to judge a mother when we have not been mothers ourselves." And that is very true. Then Queen Hippolyta makes herself known. "The wine runs low, Philippus." This one. I think that's Philippus. "Will you accompany me to the kitchens and honor my queen?" Yes, that's Philippus. And over here we see young Diana trying to get some water. She was so cute back then. and she goes, trying to reach the water, and then Queen Hippolyta starts talking and says, "Perhaps they are right. Perhaps I treat Diana as a girl instead of an Amazon." And Philippus says, "They speak of what they do not know." And Philippus is right, because they haven't been mothers. And then Queen Hippolyta grabs the jug that was holding the I don't know, I guess it was something else, maybe it was some wine. And Hippolyta says, "As do I. Each day, as a mother, I forge a new path. What if the trail I create leads Diana astray?" Excuse me about that. And down here in this rectangular panel, Philippus says, "You have given her all a mother can hope to give." And Hippolyta says, I think in a somber tone, "Maybe I have given too much. Diana must be strong, stronger than any Amazon before her." And Hippolyta chimes in and says, "And the doll is a weakness?" And then Hippolyta says, "I have never seen a warrior with a doll. Come, we must return before Cherokee empties another goblet," says Philippus as they leave the room. And there's young Diana listening all the time. And you could see her hiding up here too. She was listening. She heard everything. And I don't cry easily, and I'm not crying now, But this page pulls on my heartstrings. This is Diana back in her room. I am strong, and that's her dog, Gappy. She takes her little doll, Gappy, and puts her in this box. And you can't see it, but tears are starting to stream down her face. I am a warrior. Now she's trying to wipe away the tears. And she locks the box and then throws the key over her balcony and goes back to bed, sad. You can see how sad she is. I am an Amazon. Shay, if you're watching this, and I hope you are, you did a wonderful job with that flashback. Now, we go back to present day. They're in Arlington. This is a general speaking. He says and he's telling Diana that the refugee camp is secured and the radicals, they're captured, detained, and you can see the picture here. And Diana says Steve and his contingent remain behind to aid with rebuilding. She talks like an American soldier. And this general, he sort of acts like a father in a way. And he says, I know I'm not your commanding officer, so this is probably none of my business. But if you ever want to talk about the stuff you've seen, and she says, we just debriefed. He says, no, I mean, talk about it. And she narrates in this panel and says, talk about the violence, the destruction, the women sobbing as they clutch their dying children. And the journal says, no one comes back from battle without being changed. I've seen more than my fair share, but you already got me outnumbered 10-1. I'm here if you need to take a load off. And she's sitting there sort of like, well, yeah, maybe. But she doesn't say anything. And on the other, she continues the narration. She says, my heart can take the heavy weight of those truths. And she says, thank you, General, but I can handle it. I would not put that burden on another, she says in the narration. And then he, this is funny up here in this panel. He gets up and hits his head against these lights and says, "Consarn it! This temporary office is driving me bonkers." And that gets a smile out of Diana. And she says, "I suppose an army of ants in the picket is out of even the government's jurisdiction." And the journal says, "That's why we brought in the bug bombs." And somebody knocks on the door and says, "Hey there, are you? She's Wonder Woman!" You can tell this dude's a fanboy. And that does not get a good reaction. No way. She says, "Who are you and how did you get in here?" I'm James from Mega Ultratech. And is that Ultratech? And I took the elevator. This is covert ops, right? You can tell she's mad. It's like she's thinking, like, how did this sneak get in here? And she says, she calms down and says, Yes. Covert apps. We are. This is funny. We are a tech upstart. And the journal says, "Start up." She says, "I am here to consult." Quite normal. And then the dude is hiding behind his notebook here. It's so funny. He says, "I was going to invite your company to this, but I don't know if I want to play softball against you." And he runs out of there scared as can be. He's like, "Ah!" And Diana smiles and says, "My sincerest gratitude for the invitation, James." You know, somebody that is never going to look at her again. And then Commander Candy comes in and says, there's a hoodie bro in the lobby twittering about seeing Wonder Woman, but I know for a fact that if she were here, she'd come see me first." And then Wonder Woman goes to hug Etta, and that they talk, and you see the exchange of greetings, and Etta tells her about her brother's wedding, and Dinah says, "You should be with your family," and she says something really cool. "You are part of the family, Di." And so she's inviting Diana to this wedding, and then the general says, "Since she seems to listen to you, can Commander Candy convince her to get to Med Bay for her post-op checkup?" And Candy says, "She okay?" "Your guess is better than mine," he says. And so Diana goes to the Med Bay. And what's interesting is that this doctor looks very similar to one of the Amazons that we saw a few pages back. And she sees this doctor, for a checkup. And she looks like one of the Amazons that we saw a few pages back. And I like what the doctor says. "I appreciate your diligence in always coming to see me. You should see the things some guys do just to get out of a checkup." And Wonder Woman looks up at the doctor and says, "If it helps ease the minds of the generals, I am willing. I know my presence on these missions is unconventional." And that may be true, but she is a good soldier. And the doctor reminds her that Wonder Woman has been on 43 missions this year. And while she's an Amazon, a warrior, these people are still keeping her best interest at heart, her health. And so she sticks out her tongue, does the thing. And the doctor says, "With our troops, she says, I think you need to slow down." And Wonder Woman says, "Dr. Crawford, I do not need time off." And she smiles and says, "Of course not. You're Wonder Woman." And Dinah says, "Well, I am taking tonight off. Etta and I are going to a wedding." And the doctor says, "Sounds good." It's a nice, some calm dialogue between the two during her checkup, and then the doctor starts to cough, and Wonder Woman says, "Dr. Crawford, are you unwell?" She says, "No, just allergies." And then another doctor comes in right here and says, "Wonder Woman, we weren't expecting you back so soon." And I hate it when this happens. Hold on here. And he says, she says, "The mission was a success, Dr. Jensen." And I wonder if that's a nod to Jensen Ackles, star of Supernatural. Probably not. And he says, good to hear. Dr. Crawford, the Pentagon is waiting on the results of the, and then he starts to trail off, like, he can't say something in front of Wonder Woman. And she doesn't pay this any mind because she doesn't say anything. And then this Dr. Jensen says, the priority blood work. And Dr. Crawford says, yes, sir, I will get the report to you ASAP. And he says, by tomorrow morning. And Dr. Crawford drops her clipboard, and Wonder Woman picks it up and she says, oops, clumsy me. And the interesting part here is, during the examination, she did not take any blood. So I'm not exactly sure how she got her DNA, except maybe if she somehow got it by scraping off the clipboard here. And that Dr. Jensen says, tomorrow morning, no excuses, because apparently they need this DNA. And Crawford says, yes, sir, I'll stay all night if I have to. And she goes, and Wonder Woman says, you can't possibly. You need. And then she says down here, I'll be fine. I am the doctor here, Diana. As if to put her in her place or something. I mean, people may complain because there's not enough action in this comic book, in this particular issue, but I love it. And then they cut to the wedding. There's, I believe it. Yeah, this is the bride and groom exchanging vows. Then there's Etta Candy they're crying her eyes out. Wonder Woman, Diana, she's dressed in black. See that? The previous time she was dressed in black was the 1990s, and she revealed much more than this, from what I've researched. But she looks wonderful in black, don't you think? And then this is a little girl who's sort of taken with Diana, and the vows are being exchanged here. And it's like, you may now kiss the bride type thing here, and it is like, woohoo! And this is later at a reception type party. Etta's saying, loosen up, Di, and Diana's sort of sitting there kind of stiff like this, and she says it's a wonderful party. She's very happy for the brother and the bride. And then this I'm not sure who this is. Maybe Mark? Is that no, that can't be the groom. And then Etta says, who's ready to dance? And Diana says, I'll stay on lookout. And Etta says, suit yourself. Diana is ever the warrior. And she goes off to dance. But Etta says, just in case you forgot, this is a wedding, not a military operation. So you can have some fun. But Wonder Woman, ever the cautious superhero, is decided, no, I'm not going to do that. Because you can see her right there sipping on the champagne, just barely, and then she senses something right here. She senses something, and she says, "Who's there?" Well, she's like, "Who's there?" And then it's the little girl from before. She says, "Hi, my name's Destiny. My mom said that if I ever needed help, I could ask a policeman or a fireman or a Wonder Woman. That is so precious. And Wonder Woman gets down on the floor with her, and Destiny says, "And you're Wonder Woman." And Dinah says, I am Wonder Woman. I love that exchange. I love the exchange between them. And the little girl goes on. Her name is Destiny. She says, "I lost my shoe." I mean, first we got Dr. Jensen, then this little girl who's lost her shoe. If you're a fan of the show Supernatural, I think it was season 2 or maybe 3, when Sam lost his shoe. It's called Bad Day at Black Rock. That was the episode. "I lost my shoe playing hide and seek. Will you help me find it?" Of course, Sam was not playing hide and seek, but I like to laugh, and I just see these similarities, of course, which they probably did not intend. And Dinah says, "Mission accepted." And so they go all around, and they look underneath the table, and Destiny says, "Mom said I could have white shoes or pink shoes, and I wanted the pink ones because pink is my favorite color." And so now they're underneath the table, if you can see right here, and Destiny is saying that she likes her bracelets, and Dinah's cordial, says thank you. And the little girl, Destiny, says, "I have a pink bracelet and a necklace with a heart on it, and one day my mom says I can get my ears pierced when I'm old enough so that I don't cry when they pierce them." And Dinah, ever the warrior, says, "You would be very strong if you did not cry." And the little girl says, "Uh-huh, that's what Mom says. Do you have any kids?" Diana says, no. And then then they find her pink shoe. The little girl says, I wish you did. There are no other kids here, and it's boring." And Dinah says, "Then who were you playing hide and seek with?" Engaging the little girl. And she says, "Some lady, but I think she was sick and had to go home." Dinah says, "A lady? Like, who is that?" And she's thinking, who is this? And then Diana senses something when the little girl says, "I know all my numbers, like that says 3. No, wait, 2. And Diana knows something's not right. You can see the concern on her face. And then below, a bomb. And then she narrates 1. Next, Wonder Woman down. And I thought that was a precious episode. I mean, a precious issue. It was a great first issue. Shea Fontana, I thought you did a wonderful job. I really did. I enjoyed it immensely. This was Wonder Woman number 26 written by Shea Fontana, and of course I have to give props to everyone who did a great job in this episode. I mean, this issue. As you can tell, I love TV too. And let me see here. Shea Fontana, of course, is the writer. Mirka Andolfo artist, Romulo Fajado Jr. Colors. I know I'm murdering these names, and I do apologize. I can't. I'm just trying to pronounce them. Seda Tim Fonte letters. Jesus Marino and Alex Sinclair the cover. Jenny Frizen variant cover. I would love to see the variant cover. Dave Will Gauze and Brittany Halls, her assistant editors, and Chris Conroy, editor, and of course Wonder Woman, created by William Moulton Marston back in the 1930s or 40s, long time ago. And that was Heart of the Amazon Part 1. I hope you enjoyed it. I immensely enjoyed it. You know, this is one of those books, that's one of those issues I could read over and over and over. I could. You know, it's like my favorite TV shows. I never get tired of them. Okay. Well, I will. And I'm going to get to all 5 issues. But I hope you enjoyed this review. And please hit that subscribe button down there. And also smash that bell so you'll be notified when I upload some new videos. And you know, please share this video if you enjoyed it. And you know, give me a like, because I'm just starting this channel, Spirit Comics. I've had it for a while, but you know, I haven't done anything with it. But I'm just starting this, and you know, this is the way I'm going to be doing reviews till I can find a better way. So until I get my tablet back, this is the way I'm going to be doing it. And even when I get my tablet back, I may not start using it, because I kind of enjoy it this way. Alright, thank you for watching. I'm Michael for Spirit Comics.